another session of mathematics. Firstly, let us discuss about the following figures. In the first example, you can see the circle is divided into 4 equal parts. Let us observe figure 2. In figure 2, we can see a triangle which is divided into 2 equal parts. Out of the 2 equal parts, only one part is shaded. Now, figure 3. A rectangle is given. You can find that the rectangle is divided into 3 equal parts. Out of the 3 equal parts, 2 parts are shaded. So let's answer the questions. First question, how many parts do the circle is divided into? So the answer is 4. Question number 2, how many parts of the circle is shaded? If you observe the figure, you can understand out of 4 equal parts, 2 parts are shaded. Now, what is the shaded part? The shaded part is 2 divided by 4, which means we have divided the given circle into 4 equal parts. Out of the 4 equal parts, 2 parts are shaded. So 2 divided by 4, which is a fraction. Now let's answer the questions. First one, how many parts does the triangle is divided into? The answer is 2. Second question, how many parts does the triangle is shaded? The answer is 1. The third question is, what is the shaded portion? As you can see in the figure, out of the 2 equal parts, only one part is shaded. So the answer is 1 divided by 2, which is a fraction. First one, how many parts of the rectangle is divided into? The answer is 3. Second question, how many parts of the rectangle is shaded? The answer is 2. What is the shaded portion? The shaded portion is 2 out of 3. That is 2 divided by 3, which is a fraction. Now, in the above examples, shaded portions are 2 divided by 4, 1 divided by 2, 2 divided by 3 are fractions. Now let us see what is the definition of a fraction. A fraction can be defined as a part of the whole or a part of the group. For example, 2 divided by 3, 5 divided by 7 and 8 divided by 3. Let's learn the classification of fractions. Fractions are classified into 2, vulgar fractions and decimal fractions. What are vulgar fractions? A vulgar fraction is a fraction whose denominator is a natural number other than 10, 100, 1000, etc. For example, 3 divided by 7, 5 divided by 11, 17 divided by 20, 37 divided by 15, etc. What is a decimal fraction? A decimal fraction whose denominator is any of the numbers, that is 10, 100, 1000, etc. For example, 7 divided by 10, 37 divided by 100, 29 divided by 1000, etc. Let's learn what are proper fractions. A proper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is less than its denominator. For example, 2 divided by 3, 5 divided by 7 11 divided by 13 and 23 divided by 50, etc. Proper fractions are fractions which are less than 1. Let's learn what is a unit fraction. A unit fraction is a fraction whose numerator is 1. For example, 1 divided by 3, 1 divided by 4, 1 divided by 5, 1 divided by 6. All these are unit fractions. Improper fraction. An improper fraction whose numerator is more than or equal to its denominator. For example, 13 divided by 7, 35 divided by 11, 23 divided by 9, 37 divided by 37. All these are improper fractions. Now let's learn what is mixed fraction. A fraction, when expressed as a combination of a natural number and a proper fraction, is called a mixed fraction. For example, 2 divided by 3, 4 by 7, 1 by 9 are mixed fractions. Equivalent fractions. Two or more fractions which represent the same part of a whole are called equivalent fractions. For example, 3 divided by 5 into 2 divided by 2. That is, we are multiplying the numerator and the denominator with the same number. So we get the equivalent fraction as 6 divided by 10. In the same way, if we multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3, we get the equivalent fraction as 9 divided by 15. If we multiply numerator 3 and the denominator 5 by the same number 4, we get the equivalent fraction as 12 divided by 20. So, 3 by 5, 6 by 10, 9 by 15 and 12 by 20 are equivalent fractions. Let's learn the conversion of mixed fraction to an improper fraction. Let's take for example 2 by 3, which is a mixed fraction. 1 is the natural number and 2 by 3 is the proper fraction. So what we have to do is, first we need to multiply the natural number by the denominator, then we need to add the numerator with the same number and the denominator remains the same. So 3 ones are 3 plus the numerator 2, that is 5 divided by 3, which is the denominator of the proper fraction. So the answer is 5 divided by 3. In the same way, 5 1 by 9. In this mixed fraction, 5 is the natural number, 1 is the numerator of the proper fraction and 9 is the denominator. So we have to multiply the natural number by the denominator, that is 5 9s are 45. Then we need to add the numerator plus 1. The answer is 46, which is the numerator, and 9, the denominator of the proper fraction, remains the same. So the answer is 46 divided by 9. Next, let us see the conversion of improper fraction to a mixed fraction. First question is 39 divided by 5. We need to divide the numerator 39 by the denominator 5. So let us see how many times 5 will go in 39. The answer is 7. 7 5s are 35. When we subtract 35 from 39, we get a remainder as 4. Therefore, 39 divided by 5 When we convert into a mixed fraction, the quotient will be the natural number, remainder will be the numerator of the proper fraction, and the divisor will be the denominator. So the answer is 4 divided by 5. The next question is 139 divided by 17. So we need to divide the numerator by the denominator, that is 17. So 17 will go 8 times in 139. The quotient is 8. We get a remainder as 3 and the divisor is 17. So the answer is 3 divided by 17. When we convert 139 by 17 into a mixed fraction, we get the answer as 3 by 17. Now let's learn what are like fractions and unlike fractions. Like fractions are fractions having the same denominator but different numerator. For example, 3 divided by 11, 5 divided by 11, 7 divided by 11 and 9 divided by 11. If you observe all these fractions, you can see that all the denominators are same, that is number 11, and all the numerators are different. Now, unlike fractions. Unlike fractions are fractions that are having different denominators. Example, 3 divided by 7, 9 divided by 13, 27 divided by 35, 31 divided by 34, and 49 divided by 55. As you observe, you can see all the denominators are different. Let's learn the conversion of unlike fractions into like fractions. Let's see the example. 2 divided by 7, 9 divided by 14 and 11 divided by 35. As you learned, you know these are unlike fractions because these fractions have different denominators. Now to convert it into like fractions, first we have to find out the LCM, that is the least common multiple of the denominators 7, 14 and 35. We can see that the LCM of 7, 14 and 35 is 70. Now we need to convert each fraction into a like fraction of denominator 70. To convert the fraction 2 divided by 7 with the denominator 70, we need to multiply the denominator 7 by 10. So 7 tens are 70. When we multiply the denominator by a certain number, we need to multiply the numerator also with the same number. So we need to multiply the numerator, that is 2, with the same number 10. So 2 tens are 20, 7 tens are 70. Let's see the next fraction, that is 9 divided by 14. To convert 14 to 70, we need to multiply 14, that is the denominator, by 5. When we multiply the denominator by a certain number, we need to multiply the numerator also with the same number. So 9 into 5, that is 45. 14 into 5, that is 70. So the fraction 9 divided by 14 will convert into a like fraction, that is 45 divided by 70. Now the next fraction is 11 divided by 35. 35 is the denominator, so we need to convert to 70. So we need to multiply 35 by 2. In the same way, we need to multiply the numerator also with the same number. So 11 into 2, that is 22. 35 into 2, that is 70. So the like fractions of 2 by 7, 9 by 14 and 11 by 35 are 20 by 70, 45 by 70 and 22 by 70 respectively. Let's see the comparison of two fractions. If both are like fractions, for example 3 divided by 4 and 5 divided by 4, as you have learned, if both the denominators are same, the fractions are like fraction. Now, to compare the like fractions, we need to cross multiply. That is, the numerator of the first fraction is multiplied by the denominator of the second fraction. That is 3 into 4 is equal to 12. In the same way, the denominator of the first fraction, that is 4, is multiplied by the numerator of the second fraction, that is 5. The 4 into 5 is equal to 20. So 12 is lesser than 20. That means the first fraction, that is 3 divided by 4, is lesser than the second fraction, that is 5 divided by 4. In the other way, we need to compare only the numerators. That is 3, that is the numerator of the first fraction, and 5, that is the numerator of the second fraction. So we know 3 is lesser than 5. So the first fraction, that is 3 divided by 4, is lesser than the second fraction, that is 5 divided by 4. Now let us see how to compare two unlike fractions. 3 divided by 5 and 4 divided by 7. As we have seen in the like fractions, we need to cross multiply. That is, the numerator of the first fraction multiplied by the denominator of the second fraction. That is 3 into 7. 3 sevens are 21. Then we need to compare with the denominator of the first fraction multiplied by the numerator of the second fraction. That is 4 into 5. 4 5s are 20. So 21 is greater than 20. That means the first fraction, that is 3 divided by 5, is greater than the second fraction, that is 4 divided by 7. Now let's learn how to compare more than two unlike fractions. For example, 4 divided by 5, 7 divided by 15, 3 divided by 10 and 1 divided by 2. Now, to compare these unlike fractions, first we need to find out the LCM of the denominators 2, 5, 10 and 15. We can find out the LCM by using the factorization method. We get the LCM as 30. Now, each fraction we need to convert to an equivalent fraction with denominator 30. So, we need to multiply 5 by 6 to get 30. When we multiply the denominator by a certain number, we need to multiply the numerator also by the same number. So 4 6 are 24, 5 6 are 30. The equivalent fraction for 4 by 5 is 24 divided by 30. Same way, we need to convert 7 by 15 with the denominator 30. So we get the equivalent fraction for 7 by 15 is equal to 14 divided by 30. When we convert 3 by 10 to an equivalent fraction with the denominator 30, we get the answer as 9 divided by 30. The equivalent fraction of 1 divided by 2 is equal to 15 divided by 30. In this way, we have converted all the unlike fractions into like fractions. Now we can easily compare the like fraction, that is 9 divided by 30 is lesser than 14 divided by 30, which is lesser than 15 divided by 30 is lesser than 24 divided by 30. In this way, we can compare the unlike fractions also.